You ever think about how every day you're contributing nothing to the world, and you go to classes and do little menial jobs that in the long run won't matter to anyone? You write a paper, in 5 years no one's going to care at all what you wrote in that paper. You probably won't even remember writing that paper. You ever think about how your phones, your mobiles, your laptops, this thing I'm using to record the video here, were put together in sweatshops by hand, maybe in one of those factories where they put up the net around it so that the workers can't jump off the roof to kill themselves from despair. How's that for a social safety net? And you ever think how the metals in them, how to get these metals? There have been wars fought to get these metals. People die. Kids die being exploited to go dig out the metals out of the ground and then to take care of the metals. You ever think how the institution of marriage has been codified with a diamond ring by advertisers? You ever think about how the diamonds in those rings are the justification for horrible abuses of workers in diamond mines by an international diamond oligarchy? You ever think how, because of gold and diamonds, that's why apartheid happened in South Africa? You ever think how there's child slavery on chocolate plantations so that we can get a Hershey's bar cheaper? You ever think how so many of the very clothes we wear are put together in hellish conditions, sewn together for a pittance, for barely sub-living wages for the people who are making the clothes, so we can get our t-shirts a little cheaper? You ever think about how it used to be in the United States and in Britain and in France and Germany and the rest of Europe where the factories were, when they were manufacturing stuff there themselves? All the horrible ways they exploited workers, putting little kids to work on big, weaving machines, making people work on an assembly line till they became brainless automatons, able to think of nothing but screw, the same repetitive motion over and over again, and how in exchange for their troubles, they're paid a little bit, even though they're the ones who are doing, this essential part of the work. They get paid a little bit so that they can live in horrible, cramped tenement buildings with, no windows. And you ever think how we ended that here mostly so we could just send it overseas so that other people are farther away and do it and we don't have to worry about it? Except we do have to worry about it because it's the same, we're all on the same planet here. You ever think about how all this exploitation is basically ended up, controls the government, because the governments are basically controlled by money, and the people who have the money are the ones who are, at the top of the organizations that do this? You ever think about how so many people died to get you the land that you live on? All those thousands of years of living and death on the land you live on now, before the conquerors came along. You ever think all the people the conquerors killed, all the deception and all the lies and all the violence and all the murder to get you the land you live on now? You ever think how, knowing all this, you get up every day and you go to bed at night, you haven't done anything to try and fix it. Instead, you're just writing your papers for class and you're doing your petty little work and you're writing little silly things in Word documents or reading books about problems, but not going out there to change anything. You ever think how you feel powerless and how it doesn't seem like anything can ever be changed? Even though things change so much, even though they change so much, it still feels like things can never change. You ever think in all these ways that you're complicit in this system that, that it just treats people horribly? Where people don't matter, all that matters is money. And you ever wonder maybe what you could do to change that? If there's anything you can do to change that. And how every day, day in, day out, because you don't do anything about this, you're totally morally compromised every day. Every day, you're a failure. You've done nothing. And you get up in the morning thinking, maybe today will be the day that'll change. But that day isn't the day it's changed. Because nothing's changed so far. Because you've never done anything. You ever think how, when you're saying all this stuff, it's like sounds like you're crazy? People think you're just completely crazy? And you ever think, what if I am crazy? And I'm the one who's wrong about everything? And that the people I think are wrong are actually right. Even though I know they're wrong, how do I know anything? And then you think that, and you think that even that sounds like you're a crazy person. You ever think about those things? Because I do.